Hi, my name is Capulet2kx and welcome to my first Minecraft video. Recently I've been working on a project that needed a variety of locked doors. So we're going to be having a look at some of the designs that I came up with. To explain a little about our server, we tried to be mod free. That's just the way that we play the game. So it means that in terms of keeping people out of somewhere, you can't ever stop them, you can only slow them down. But ideally we don't even want people to stay out of our places, we want them to come in and have a look. So the locks that you're going to see today in Area 51 are they are cosmetic, and they're also in some places providing a bit of gameplay. So what I'm trying to say is I know they wouldn't keep anybody out for very long. So this is an area that we've recently started. Area 51. It's going to have a nice big perimeter fence around it and guard towers and whatnot. But I wanted to get stuck in with the fun stuff underground. Okay, so here we are. So here's our first door. There's a security office over here and a button. Hopefully as the player comes in here they'll see this code that they'll need for later, and you can see the door opens. I've opened it for a while for the person to realise it's open, close the wooden door if they want, and come and walk through, and there we go, it's about the right amount of time. Pressure pads to allow people out, especially important on a multiplayer server. It's very easy to end up locked in, so you don't want to have to smash your way through your newly built locked door. So here's the circuitry. Here is the input from the button, and over here, just where that torch is coming out there, that's the input from the pressure pad. When either of those things sends a signal through to here, this bit of memory turns on, which is hooked up to the door, so the door opens, and it also sends a pulse round this timer circuit here, and when that pulse reaches the end, it turns the bit of memory back off again and the door closes. Now originally there was a bug with that, where if you repeatedly hit the button or walked over the pressure pad lots, it would get multiple pulses going around the timer, and that led to erratic opening and closing. So I added this little bit of logic here that means that it will only send a pulse around the timer if the door is currently closed. So you can only get one pulse going around at a time. So just to demonstrate the pressure pad, it does feel pretty cool, and through you go. Yeah. Right, on to our next lock. So this is a combination lock that involves 6 levers that the player has to put up or down, and they will open this door here. So it's the code that was upstairs, which is 1, 2, 3. There we go. And again, pressure pads for getting out again, although that door won't lock behind us automatically. And looking at the logic behind that, it's mainly a set of AND gates, and a row here either of cables or of NOT gates. If it's got a NOT gate, then the lever needs to be up for the door to be opened. So you can quickly change the code quite easily just by adjusting that row there. And over here, a bit of memory and a timer, similar to what we saw upstairs for the pressure plate, and either of those things generating an output will open the door. And we'll have a little look at what one of the reasons we've got this Area 51. We wanted it to be a launch area for missions to the Nether, just to give it a bit of flavour. So there's our portal. Another very simple locked metal door there with redstone going up to it, and a switch over there, pretty basic stuff. Another switch inside in case you get locked in. We've got an area for stashing your current inventory, and also a ready chest for getting either combat kits or construction kits for going through and having a fun little mission through there. A nice decorative research area. Okay, so the last lock that we're going to look at is certainly the most complex one, and its job is to seal off the other end of this railway station, the railway station that we left earlier, in fact. So not only does the lock for this need the user to enter a code, because we didn't want a big open door just leading into Area 51. Not only do they have to enter a code, the circuit also needs to reset itself afterwards. So I can't use levers like I did on the previous combination lock. I have to use buttons, because levers will be up or down and they will physically remember the code. So instead I have buttons hooked up to memory. You can see these three lights here, they are each of them hooked up to one of the bits of memory. When the user has entered the three numbers correctly, there's a clue here that will allow people in, which I think is, so for each correct number a light will come on. If we hit an incorrect number, the lights will go off again. If we do the right code, which is 241, when all three lights are on, the door temporarily opens, and then after a while the lights will shut off and the door will close again. We've got a pressure pad for getting out as well. Now, the circuitry behind this is significantly more complex than anything else that we've looked at here today. When I'm designing something like this, I tend to work through a few drafts first on paper, make sure that the logic is all sound, identify similar bits of functionality, and just get an idea of the best way of laying it out. So it's usually useful to separate it into the interface, the data, and down at the end there, the logic. So up here we've got the interface. We've got the bulbs through there, up at the top, out at the front. Then we've got the inputs from the levers, the buttons. Buttons that have no effect, the wrong buttons, if you will, all go through to here, which goes down to the reset circuit. The reset circuit just sets all of the memory to be off, effectively resetting the puzzle. So anytime the player does something wrong, we send a signal around that circuit. Over here we've got the three right buttons on big long bridges going down to the other end, where the logic is for determining whether the condition is right for each of those buttons to be pressed. This next sort of row running down here, this is the memory. There's one bit of memory for each button press, and those bits of memory, whether they get turned on or off, based on the button press that will have come down this big long bridge and down to here straight into the circuit. This is the logic for checking that. There's three chunks of logic, one logic for each bit of memory. Each bit of logic gets an input from each of the bits of free memory. So the first button will expect all of the bits of memory to be off. So that's why we've got three NOT gates here. The second button press will expect the first bit of memory to be on, so there's no NOT gate, and the second two to be off. When we combine that logic with the correct button press, it will turn the bit of memory on. And when all three bits of memory are turned on, it will lead to this next bit of logic through here. Just some AND gates. When they're all turned on, it will send a pulse out to the door, and it will turn on a bit of memory. I believe. Let's see what. Oh no, sorry. This bit of memory is separate. This bit of memory and timer is just for the pressure plate. It'll either feed off that bit of memory, or it will feed off the output of this logic gate here. Either of those will open the door. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little tour. I'll be making more videos. If you would like to find out more about our server, it's very small, but you can visit this address here. And thank you very much for watching. My name again is Capulet2KX. Thank you.